What's up? So today is October 24th. CPI came out this morning. That's interesting. I mean, we push all the way up here. Might make it a little hard to trade, but I mean, if we keep moving bearish, I would love to target this data low. And at that point, maybe I could look for a rejection off of it, maybe even for longs again. Because right now we're moving kind of bearish, honestly. Yeah, so I mean, I guess for my bias, I'm definitely gonna look if we trade towards the data lows, I'll target them. And then once we sweep them, if we reject off them, I'll take a long probably. Like higher time frame though, I mean we're trading inside a 15-minute gap. Me personally though, I feel like I wouldn't really like, take a long right here. This is kind of like in the middle of a range. Yo, what's up? Diegust. I don't know how to say your name, I'm sorry. Diegostin? One? Hmm. I mean we might kind of hold this 15-minute gap. There is an SMT at the lows. We're gonna open up this 3-minute gap right here. I don't think I'll get an entry on this. I feel like if it looks clean enough internally, I might take it. Like a long off this, an inverse off this gap. I don't think I'll get an entry though, to be honest. Because I would go break even at the internal high, and it's probably just gonna run that if it's gonna invert that gap. I just hate how overextended I'm taking longs. Like I'm taking longs like all the way up here. You said I'm bullish, to be honest. Technically no reversal. You're gonna wait till 10 a.m. It's not a bad idea, to be honest. 10 a.m. usually gives a pretty clear bias. Yeah, there's no shot I'm getting an entry on this. I think so. ES made triple equal highs. I mean, if ES takes this high, yeah, that would have been my break-even point. So I can't really take that. It might be. It honestly might be kind of hard to trade today. ECDF pretty much got out of drawdown thanks to the 10 a.m. open holo. Yeah. I always pay attention how 10 a.m. opens. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if at 10 a.m. we start getting like a reversal down. Only because like in the weekly chart, I feel like the weekly candles don't like this too close to the top of them. I mean, there are occasional times where it happens, but I feel like the weekly candles always leave a top wick. So once that new 4 hour candle opens, it'll probably manipulate a little higher. Maybe go back down. I'm just guessing, but didn't see. So I guess CPI red means worse than expected. So I guess that's. Oh, I guess that's bullish for stocks though. Oh yeah, because it's the opposite. I always forget that. You said where? Where are you? Oh, where am I from? I don't know. It took me a second to read. I'm from New York in the United States. Where are you from? That 15-minute gap is definitely holding now. Is there a 5-minute gap here? Nah. Is it fire? I'm from Texas. Nice. So I guess NQ already took out that high. It's probably just gonna keep running past it, but I feel like I mean I'll keep trading, but I feel like today's not gonna be the highest probability day. There's no shot this SMT is gonna hold. Sorry if my internet cuts out. I have some problem with my internet I'm trying to fix. It like cuts out occasionally for like 10 seconds. You know, one thing I like with this SMT though, so like we really failed to get above this high. Like we're wicking above it, we're barely having bodies close above it. I mean, don't get me wrong, this could just keep running up, but I'm so surprised this is holding right now. I'm not gonna lie. I know we're in bullish order flow, but if we get a pretty or like a really clear like if this 5 minute right here inverses, I feel like I'd want to see it in like real time. 'Cause I don't know why. I feel like I prefer to see how it forms, but only because I like data lows as draws. You said, "Hey King, how are you doing?" I'm good. How are you? I think that was you that DM me. Yeah, I mean, I gotta respond to your DM. I know. I was really busy yesterday. You said, "Hey Tim Siddharth here. Hey, what's up? I haven't seen you in a minute. How have you been?" Yeah, no, I do remember you. Yeah, you were showing up like one of the first couple of streams I did. So great and glad to hear that. I'm good. You're doing. I'm glad you're doing good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you used to trade the order flow. I'm pretty sure you. I remember. Yeah, I remember there was even one time I marked out a level you gave me. How's your month going? Green or red? I'm like slightly green, not like crazy green, but I'm green. I get break evened a lot this month, honestly. Like I think it was. I want to say it was Wednesday. I took like three separate break evens. Oh, you said not order flows, price action with book map. How's your month going though? You green, red? You said yeah, till now in green, but we'll see. This week was kind of bad except Wednesday. Yeah, I feel like price action's been funky. That was an interesting can. Oh yeah, it was 9:45 news. I have the economic calendar right next to me. I keep forgetting economic news is a thing. I always feel like data lows and highs though are like strong draws. So I feel like on this 9:45 candle, whichever side we hit first, I feel like I'll just target the other to be honest. As long as I get a clean setup. So his ES already took that data high. Said market gonna move up today. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a chance. I mean, maybe as long as I get confirmation, I feel like it might pull back a little bit toward the end of the day. It's probably gonna run through that SMT. Said, but eventually anything can happen at this point in time in the market. Honestly, on the weekly chart, I think my internet's being slow again. So on the weekly chart, I have a lot of drawings here. But so all these candles, I feel like they usually have a little bit of a top wick. I mean, there are some exceptions where like this one has a really small top wick. But yeah, I feel like we're getting close to the top of this. I mean, we have a top wick already, but if it keeps going up, we really don't have one. Ooh, this is nice though. I didn't see it. Ooh, I like this. Is ES tapping into a 5-minute gap? No. The thing I'm thinking right now is so we're leaving behind this data high up here. I love targeting data highs. The only thing is there is technically an SMT with it because ES took it out. But for longs, that would be a great target up there. It would be nice to see us pull a little lower though first. Like if we honestly, best case scenario in my mind is if we sweep out this low down here inside this gap and then get a clear rejection back up and then I can target that high up there. That's like best case scenario. And before I was talking about like maybe looking at a short here because there's this SMT in at the high and all, but the reason I would never take this short right here, well, I mean there's just data highs at my like I know I am targeting a different data low, but then I'm gonna put data highs at my stop. I don't like that. It's looking like we actually might come down and sweep this low down here though, which would be really nice for me. So yeah, I mean I'm not gonna take this, but before when I was talking about maybe looking at shorts, that's that 4-minute I would have considered taking. Honestly, we're probably just gonna sweep out this internal low right here, and then just reverse right back up after. And I feel like maybe this setup would be better if we were like trading inside a 15-minute gap to the left or something, but like we're just trading at all-time highs. And like shorting at all-time highs, like never the best idea. there a gap here? Honestly, if this 2-minute inverts, there's no SMT. If there was an SMT, I would have taken that, considered taking that 2-minute inverse, to be honest, as a long. And that 4-minute held. I mean, we could still run this low, but So there's still a tiny 5-minute gap that might open in like 2 minutes. There's still no SMT. I feel like part of me tells me this trade's gonna win, but I feel like I don't have many confirmations to tell me it's actually going to, if that makes sense. Like on paper. Like, cause we're not directly trading inside of a higher time frame gap. There's no 5 or 15-minute gap here. There's no SMT at the lows. I really feel like since the bullish order flow and there's data highs up there, this candle closes in like, yeah, and there's not, the 5-minute gap's not gonna open up. I'm thinking really hard. Maybe, how about this? If it closes next candle, there's no 3-minute, 4-minute. I hope this thing doesn't close through. I don't want to take this, to be honest. I don't know why. I really felt like if this 2-minute gap here gets inverted, though, I feel like it's just gonna run straight to those highs up there. So I mean, there's not 10 a.m. news. Well, there technically is 10 a.m. news, but it doesn't say it's red folder, which confuses me. You said, I think it will sweep sell side and then move higher. Yeah, like, yeah. Oh, is this thing gonna invert? Is there any SMT low now? Oh wait, there actually is an SMT low. I hate there's low resistance. I said that's kind of loud. There's like low resistance building up my stop loss though. This is not the cleanest setup. I'm gonna take that, honestly.
Order filled.
So I'm just targeting that data high up there and my stops are that low. I'll show my executions. Yeah, and there's no break-even point on this. Because I'm going for a data high. You said day 2. What's up, Anthony? Alright, my screen should be showing. Yeah, so I mean, I'm either hitting stop loss on this or hitting take profit. No break-evens. And 10 a.m. There is news at 10 a.m. Like it's a yellow folder, but I feel like it was red folder before they adjusted it. So 10 a.m. is gonna be weird. It would be nice if this could hit before 10 a.m., but that might not happen. Nice. I feel like that might be because of 10 a.m. news. It's not looking too good right now, to be honest. I mean, if we start moving up though, this will hold as an order block. So there's a chance though in 30 seconds this thing could rocket to my take profit or stop loss. So I don't know what it's yellow folder news supposedly. Hello? That's not yellow folder news, bro. What is that? Dude, what? Hello? Did I lose internet? How am I still in this? You said what the hell is going on? I don't know, man. Cause bro, that was definitely red folder news. Like, cause on Forex Factory, whatever just came out, it was listed as yellow folder, but I feel like when I checked earlier in the week, it was listed as red folder. This thing might hit though. Dude, when I saw that candle forming, I was like, oh no, I'm cooked. Honestly, I want to check real quick how ES is looking. That's very interesting. I expected ES to be moving stronger. Wow, this is the first time I think I've taken a trade that wasn't 1-to-1 on stream. Maybe I did it once before, but I usually trade 1-to-1. I just really believe that data highs can get hit. Even though I want to say, did ES take it? I think it did, but I don't care. I wonder if where is my 1-to-1? Hello. You said, how is it possible it only happened on MNQ but not NQ? Oh, what, that drop down? Or, I mean, dude, yeah, that drop down went a lot further on MNQ. Yeah, dude, this, yeah, trading view looks different for NQ. Sometimes though, with the economic news events, like when CPI comes out, PPI comes out, those big economic news events, I feel like NQ and MNQ sometimes like decorrelate, and like one will do one thing and the other will do another. You said why there is dissimilarity. Honestly, I don't know the reason, but all I've noticed is on big news events like NFP, CPI, PPI, those big events. Sometimes like NQ will go like, especially with those data high wicks, you know, like that 830 candle that'll leave behind that wick. Sometimes it'll be like 10 points off between like NQ and MNQ. Oh, I should adjust the text so you guys can see my P&L. I forget how to do that. Oh, I already did that. I feel like it just looks small. What is that? I hate the Nasdaq today. Good morning, Tim. What's up, Bo? How are you? Oh, and Bo, I feel like this trade right here, this one has been wrenching my emotions. I still get emotions. Dude, like, do you see? I entered. Well, technically, I entered like over here. Do you see this candle over here? I was like shitting my pants when I saw this candle form. You said not so good, bro. You messed yourself up with your funded already. So mad at myself. It's just part of the journey. I mean, it happens to everyone. You just gotta use it as a lesson. Every loss is a lesson. Okay, I think my internet came back. But all I was saying before it cut out was I feel like a lot of people get their first funded account. I bet the amount of them that actually get that funded account, like a payout from that funded account, has to be so low. But what made me enter that trade? Yeah, there was an inverse on the 2 minute. I can mark it out actually. Where is the rectangle tool? Here. Oh wait, I gotta start. My bad. Give me 1 second. I think this thing's about to hit. But yeah, it was an inverse of that 2 minute. Maybe enter this. How's ES doing? ES is actually moving pretty bullish. Is this data high like different? I feel like NQ and MNQ are just so not correlated. I'm actually gonna full
Order
close there.
filled.
Only for the fact of I'm looking at NQ and NQ's data high is just not where MNQ's is, if that makes sense. Yeah, I guess I'll just take it at 1-to-1. That was basically 1-to-1 where I closed. But yeah, the thing that made me close there is I was look at NQ. The thing the tie I was targeting was over there. I don't know. But you said, yeah, progress was made, but what made you go to what made you go to start over? So if you entered the FVG, I mean, I'll just move over to trading view and show you. But yeah, that's not bad close. That's so weird. But so the trade that I took right there was just a 2-minute inverse. So we weren't actually trading really like inside any higher time frame gaps. There's not like a 5-minute gap. I usually like taking trades inside higher time frame gaps. I mean, we did deliver off this 15-minute gap down here, but I'd say we're not really delivering it from it anymore because we already took out that most recent internal high. She said the market gonna move down now, then it will go upside. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't too confident in holding that to the full data high in MNQ because I didn't realize how decorrelated those data highs were. But yeah, I mean, the thing that just maybe entered that trade was I took a 2-minute inverse down here. I don't know why. I just had a strong feeling these data highs would get hit. I technically could have targeted where they were on MNQ. I'm sorry, on NQ. But that really threw me off the decorrelation. Or you said good shit, bro. Thanks. Yeah, I'm up. Can you see? I think it cuts off my P&L for the day. Because that bar at top. Oh, wait, it's still showing trading view. So, like, on a 50K, I'm up like 963. Honestly, though, I feel like part of me always says, like, I could have gotten an extra $300. Because I know I could have. But it's whatever. Winning day. I mean, I won't beat myself up. Yeah, honestly, though, I'm probably going to call it for the week here. I mean, I got to win. You said I already feel better watching you, and no LL, it's a voice agreed. Yeah, I mean honestly though, I'm thinking though, like that's a learning experience for me. I should have paid more attention to how NQ, like this data high, like if you see the data high in NQ was at 535, but then I go to MNQ and the data high is all the way at 550. I was really second guessing myself here though was it didn't follow my trading plan like 100% to take this trade. Because normally I usually wait for a pullback into a 5 or 50-minute gap, but I kind of didn't get it this time. That's an NQ. So I guess, yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll just start recapping everything I saw today. Start wrapping up. So coming to the session, right, I saw there was this 830 candle, right? That was CPI, honestly, very important. So I'm always going to be marking out the data highs and lows. You said, did you blow your first funded too, Tim? Well, I guess that's a complicated question because the first funded account was I got with a company called My Forex Funds. So I actually got one payout and I got it to my account. And then I actually was at the point where I could have requested a second payout and the company actually went down. Like they just completely like I think they got taken down with the CFTC or whatever. But in terms of futures accounts, because that's like a you know like the funded trader, it was similar like the funded trader. It was an account like that. But I think funded account, I think I blew my first one. But I remember my funded futures, they had this crazy sale where you could get 150K. This is like kind of when they first dropped. You could get 150K, whereas $50 per like reset, if you know what I mean. So I would just like like literally full port it and just reset it, and I would full port like multiple accounts a day. I'm not saying it was a good idea, but it was $50 back then. That's actually how I got two. I don't know if you remember, I got like two 4K payouts from my funded futures. I pretty much was spamming that $50 sale, and I just kept getting funded accounts and going high risk. I wish I could do that with my skill now. But so yeah, today though, this session. So I marked out the data highs and lows. So that's going to be the most extreme of that 1 minute candle. So I noticed we immediately took out that data high. So normally on a normal day, if we weren't moving so bullish, I would consider targeting these lows. But we really didn't get any clean setups, and we're moving so bullish. I really can't target that. The only thing I'd pay attention to is maybe, excuse me, if we retraced all the way down here, I might consider taking a reversal trade off of that data low. But yeah, so I noticed we had this 15-minute gap. So we traded back into that 15-minute gap, rejected out of it. So the thing that I did not like about this setup was when I say we're rejecting from a 5 or 15-minute gap, if we're going to take that high like this, we're no longer recently delivering from a 5 or 15-minute gap. I'd want to see like a lower time frame one get created, which we failed to do so. Like there's no 5-minute gap in here. I have like a lower time frame. I want to say it's like a 4-minute gap. But a 4 minute's a weird time frame. Like I'm not going to base my trade off of a 4 minute. Like today I did because I had a strong bias. Only because I had a strong bias. But so yeah, so I saw we pulled back, right? There was an S&T at the lows. It was like lower time frame, I want to say. I saw some small S&T. Yeah, it was a literally really small S&T. I just for some reason I wanted to see some S&T form. I mean, this is like a baby S&T to be honest. But yeah, there was that minor S&T internally, so I said, okay, we have this S&T, we're delivering away from it. We have data highs up here, which data highs are always a strong draw. Data lows are highs, right? So those are a strong draw. So we're delivering back up toward it. And then there's even like if you look at the 5 minute too, you could say what time frame. But basically this is like a change in the state of delivery right here, right? We kind of moved down and broke structure back up. Retesting that. It's like an order block. You could look at it that way. But essentially, though, in this leg that pushed down, this is the highest time frame gap. There's no 3 minute gap, right? There's no 4 minute, no 5 minute. So once we invert this gap, like what else is going to stop us from running to this data high? Like there's nothing really there. I mean, there's this order block, but is this order block going to hold at all-time highs? No, it's not. So that's the trade I took. I took that close. It was honestly a good close too. So the thing I should have done better today was I should have paid more attention to the difference between NQ and MNQ and put my take profit where the data high wasn't NQ, because I was focused in on MNQ because I was using like Top Step X. So I was like, oh, I'll target this data high up here, which actually it was like 550 I want to say, which as of right now hasn't gotten hit on MNQ. See, this data high has yet to get hit. So that was the I call it like the low hanging fruit a lot of times. Like I like to target the low hanging fruit. Where is it going to 100%? And in my mind, I was really confident it was going to here on NQ, but MNQ, I'm not confident it's going to go there on. If that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, I ended up closing once it kind of retraced to 1-to-1. I was kind of realizing we took out data highs in NQ and we were reacting off of them. So yeah, I just closed at 1-to-1 this trade. But the thing I should have done better, I should have targeted that high on NQ, not the MNQ high. But does anyone have any questions about any of the price action today or any trades I took today? Probably not. I guess I'll take my video from my Instagram story real quick. Gotta show my P&L. You said you do? What's up? Ask your question. You said, what do you look for to confirm your bias? So, I'm going to go back to TradingView to explain this. Also, so my internet's been kind of funky. So if my internet cuts out and you miss something, just let me know, and I have no problem going back and explaining something a second time. But so I was thinking if I was gonna rewind. I don't have to rewind. So the first thing I do when I'm coming to the session, right? I'm gonna mark out the session highs and lows. So I just use an indicator called ICT kill zones and pivots, like TPO. This one, I mean, you can either you can go back and look at the recording, or I can send you the link to this if you want. But and these are the settings I use. So it marks out like Asia session, London session, New York session. So the first thing I do is I'm marking out all the session highs and lows. And I don't like to leave that indicator up because I feel like it messes up my chart. So I'll just manually come here. I'll mark out London highs and lows. I mean, since I do this every day, I even set templates. You can see I have all these templates. So Asia low, and it'll put that text for me there. So I'll do the same thing on ES. So today, we really didn't have any session SMTs. For example, though, a great example would be, let's say if London today happened to trade down, and let's say it took out Asia and then it rejects up, right? And ES doesn't. But so obviously, yeah. So first I'm paying attention to session SMTs. I also look at the daily chart. Obviously I got to mark out previous day high, previous day low. And I honestly start my analysis from the daily down. So one thing that was making me bullish for a lot of weeks recently was on the daily, we put in this fair value gap. And from my knowledge of lower time frame fair value gaps, if we're going to invert, right? We inverted this daily fair value gap. It's not like I'm going to take a trade off this. That'd be crazy. But once an inversion happens, I believe that we're going to draw to that most recent internal high or low. So now that we inverted this daily fair value gap right here, I believe that's a draw. So, I mean, even if we retrace down here, it's just a retracement, and that's still the draw. So, I mean, I'll keep that in mind. So then, on the 4 hour, so what am I doing? Yeah, so on the 4 hour, though, so we had this large push down right here on a Wednesday. So this is that same push down on Wednesday. So there's that crazy move down. I'll go back to the 1 minute to look at something on Wednesday. So we have this huge push down, and then Wednesday, you can be bearish if in this session we're moving in bearish order flow. But I feel because you always got to pay attention to the order flow, we move from the top down. So even if we inverted this daily, on Wednesday, if I have extreme bearish order flow, I can't ignore it. But I just got to keep the daily in mind, if that makes sense. But yeah, what else am I trying to say? So I mean, yeah, but for example though, if I'm on the 4 hour, and then on that Wednesday, right, we had that huge push down. So once 10 a.m. happens, right, at this point at 10 a.m., we pretty much had a huge push down. So I'm seeing a large push down, and then I can look at the 1 hour, and I can say, okay, we've broken structure on the 1 hour, and on the 15 minute at this point in time, is it Wednesday? That was pushed down, right? So let's say at this point in time, right, around here, we're respecting bearish order flow on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15 minute. Just because that daily got inverted doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to have to be bullish to that high. Because it's too many time frames are against me. It's just higher probability if they all start lining up. And I'm always looking at gaps too. I'll be oh, on the 15 minute, this gap right here got inverted. The second that gap gets inverted, lower time frame, I'm saying this could be a draw down here. Yeah, yes. I feel like that wasn't too clear, but I don't know. Do you have any questions? You said right. Oh, I see. I mean, yeah, I look at every time frame though. I'm just cycling daily 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute. And then I'll mark out session highs and lows, look for SMTs there. I always mark out data highs and lows. You said no, that was good. Thinking if you have more. That's cool. I mean, honestly though, for my intraday bias, right? Like I always frame all of my trades based off of 5 or 15 minute gaps. I don't know if you've always like I always talk about that, but like that's one way I kind of like protect myself from like over trading. You know, sometimes you might like think to yourself, like, no offense, like it happens to everyone, but like you think like, how am I wrong so many times? Like I'm always losing these trades and like you feel stupid. I feel like that's almost how I protect myself from my stupidity. Like I always base my trade off of 5 or 15 minute gaps. So even if I say we should be going somewhere, if 5 or 15 minute gaps are not getting respected in that direction, like I won't take a trade in that direction. And like even like getting respected and getting disrespected. So like for example, right? Like let's say at this point in time right here, I'm bullish and I see a 15-minute gap open up and like this is a very prominent 15-minute gap. I don't know how to explain it, but like there's not many other gaps in this leg, so it's like if we invert this and there's low resistance down here, I feel like we're really gonna make a run down, right? So this gap really in my mind should hold. So like I would see like for my bias, I want to see if this holds, I take a rejection out of it, but then once it gets inverted, I gotta change my mind. So even if I came to the market this morning and said I want to see previous day high get taken, if those 15-minute gaps lower time frame are getting like disrespected, created, respected again, yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of not used to explaining things like off the bat like that. I feel like normally I'm used to like making a video and making a little script. Like I'll talk about this, and I'll talk about this. I feel a little disorganized. Yeah, of course. I'm just gonna rip a video from my Instagram story real quick, and then I don't think, yeah, I'll do my full recap of the day, because I don't think I ever fully did that. But if you have any more questions, feel free to drop them. You said, has live helped you with trading? So honestly, the reason I actually started doing this is because I actually used to watch someone else trade live for a while. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying come here and signal bot. It's not going to help you if you sit here and copy me exactly, because like you got to learn how to trade for yourself. But I feel like my learning style almost. I feel like a lot of people use it as a coping mechanism. But my learning style, I like to learn something and then I want to see how you execute it in live time. So like I feel like I knew all these ICT concepts, but I never understood what was making certain people take certain inversions and certain like and they would skip certain inversions. I started doing it myself because I've gotten better with my trading, and I feel like me talking out loud while I'm trading has also kind of helped me. Because now I kind of have to analyze everything out loud, and sometimes I'll be like, if I say it out loud, I'll be like, is this true? That makes sense. But yeah, I think lives have helped me. And it also forces me to journal. Like like a lot of people they say they're gonna journal. I feel like there'd be times where I'd be like, I had a rough morning. I gotta go to work now, and like I'll like have all these reasons, excuses. But like if it literally forces me, like once I end stream every single day, I'll go over everything I could, like the whole session, and I'll go what I could have done better, what I could have like what I did good, if that makes sense. And I feel like just that forced journaling really helps. And there's even accountability for my trading plan too, because it's like if I crashed out on stream, it's like I'm not only crashing out, it's like there's gonna be people watching me, and on top of that, it's gonna be embarrassing. Like, and there could be people copying me because I do acknowledge there's gonna be people that are gonna come in here and they're gonna copy these streams. Like once I enter, they're gonna just blindly follow me, and like I don't want to negatively affect people. So I was on MNQ. I'm just on I'm on Top Step X. I'm just want to take a video for my story like I always do. I don't know why I have an obsession with doing that. Why is my phone's camera just not opening? I feel like I've been having so many tech problems lately. There we go. You said, so last year you told me about your 10K payout. That was your first big payout. Technically, I haven't gotten a 10K payout. It was two separate 4K payouts for my fund of futures, and that was a little over 1 year ago now. That was definitely my first big payout though, by far. And honestly, at that point, I was thinking about like, oh, I'm the best trader ever. I like was talking my shit, if that makes sense. And then you said ever since then you've been more consistent. Yeah, so I mean honestly, after I got those two payouts, I'd say my consistency went downhill. For the rest of that year, I'd say I honestly traded like shit and didn't get that many more payouts, from my recollection. Like I might have gotten a couple, but it really wasn't that consistent. And then I feel like I had a little bit of consistency the beginning of the following year, but I'd say I honestly didn't really get the consistency that I really wanted until like the beginning of, let's say, like beginning of quarter 2 of this year. Because I feel like you get to a point where you start learning it, but you're like, I'm getting it. You think you really get it. I don't know. It's like a constant cycle where you think you get it and you get. You said right, constantly being humbled. Ooh, that close. You like that close? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting excited about it. You remember how I decided I was originally targeting up there, but I was like, you know what? NQ took that high. I'm no longer confident in this trade. I'll close at 1-to-1. Really good decision. Love that. Because I feel like there are days where I'll be like, oh, I could. Remember before too, I was like, I could have made $300 extra. I actually could have made $300 extra if I played it 100% perfectly, but you don't want to kill yourself over a couple bucks. I'm just gonna record my video for my Instagram. I tried to do this so many times. Just finished the trading week. Took one trade on live. Just took a 1-to-1. I was targeting data highs. I took a 2-minute inversion. It honestly wasn't the cleanest setup. I just had a really strong bias. We were gonna hit that data highs, but pretty good week overall. Did it all on live stream. W. One thing I do like about Top Step, just no consistency rule. I don't have to worry about that. So let's fucking go. I appreciate you. I guess, yeah, why not? I always love recapping. I'll just do a quick recap. So so at 8:30 though, we had CPI come out. We took out all-time highs, which made things a little more confusing for me because I don't like taking trades really close to all-time highs. And then so I noticed that when we had news though, we traded back into this 15-minute gap. So I saw a clear rejection out of that 15-minute gap. And then the thing that confused me though was we ended up taking out that high, right? So normally I only like targeting the internal high from a gap, right? So I wanted to see a 5-minute or a 15-minute get created in here, and that didn't happen. So only because I had a strong bias toward those data highs today, I took that inversion. On a normal day, I really wouldn't take a trade like that. But the highest time frame gap separating us from those data highs, it was like 9:45. The highest time frame gap separating us was this 2-minute. I saw a really strong closure. I like that, like in the second candle after we formed this gap too, we inverted it. Those are like the strongest inversions if we form it and then either next candle or the candle after we invert it, because it's really not holding at that point. And then I put my stop down at this low down here. There was a minor baby SMT internally on the 1-minute. My internet cut out. But yeah, I closed at 1-to-1. I technically should have just targeted a data high in NQ, but that was pretty much my day. So I guess before I end stream, anyone have any final questions? I guess probably not. But I also have the free Discord in that pinned comment. So if you're not in there, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask Bo. But yeah, join the free Discord in the pinned comment and also check out Alpha Futures. I forgot to mention too, so Alpha Futures is doing a 30% off sale until the rest of the week. I gotta put my bar up there. Yeah. So Alpha Futures is doing a 30% off sale until they ended Sunday night actually. It was because of the problems they had on Monday. So Yeah, 30% is honestly a great discount, so definitely take advantage of that. But I appreciate everyone stopping by. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Cheers.